dog, man's best friend, but also maybe man's biggest cybersecurity weakness. According to a recent study by an organization called Aura, 39% of Americans use their pet's name as part of their password, with this number jumping to more than half for those between the ages of 35 to 44. For years, this has allowed hackers to infiltrate the accounts of unsuspecting pet lovers. This leads us to our first question. How do hackers find out your pet's name? Well, for starters, the same study showed that 48% of pet owners have posted their pet's name on social media, which makes this a relatively low-hanging fruit. But let's say you're diligent and you would never dare post Luna's name online, and by extension, you are not a part of this statistic. Then what? Well, many hackers use password lists to perform their attacks, with the most famous password list being called rockyou.txt, which in its most recent version is composed of 3.2 billion leaked passwords. These password lists are a conglomeration of all the most common passwords used by individuals who were affected by security breaches. With 3.2 billion passwords at play, it is quite likely that your pet's name is on this list. And to prove this, I will search through this password list for matches that have the name Bella in it using my virtual machine. Some of you might even see your own password show up as I scroll through this list, and if you do, you should probably change it. But now you might say, hey, I use my pet's name with numbers and random symbols, so I'm safe, right? Wrong. Hackers can use a tool called cupp to create a customized password list given your pet's name. As we see here, I have given this program the name Bella, and it has generated a password list with thousands of possible combinations of that name and various numbers and various symbols. This leads us to our final question. How much damage can a hacker do with my password? Of course, this answer will vary per person. For example, someone who uses this password for their bank account is much more likely to be in jeopardy than someone who uses it just, let's say, for their RuneScape account. However, a study by security.org had found that around 68% of people will reuse passwords across multiple sites. Unfortunately for us, once a hacker finds out your password, they can actually query a list of all the other sites you have accounts on to test to see if your password works there as well. For this, the hackers will use a tool called recon-ng. As we see on the screen right now, recon-ng is currently querying all of the different websites to see if there's an account named admin on them. Now, admin's a popular name, so we're seeing quite a bit of hits. But what can happen now is, let's say you have admin on one account on a different website. If you're using that same exact password with that same exact username across multiple different websites, a hacker can now access that. In conclusion, do not be part of the 39% of people that use their pet's name for their passwords. In fact, don't use any easily identifiable information in that password field at all, right? If someone could figure it out via your social media or even just a basic conversation with you, it's probably best to leave it out of the password field. Now you might say, oh, but that's inconvenient. And that's kind of the point, right? The point of a password is for it to be somewhat inconvenient. It's a security measure. Now, obviously, there's a limit to this. You need to be able to remember your password, but that's where things like password managers come in, password phrases. Maybe instead of having your pet's name, you just have a phrase that you understand that has all these different symbols and characters and has complexity and length added on. But once again, do not just use your pet's name, throw a couple numbers at the end of it, and call it a day. If you like this video, let me know in the comments. Feel free to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, right? And let me know what your thoughts are on some of the tools that I showed off today. If you want to see in-depth walkthroughs of any of the tools that I showed in these videos, once again, let me know in the comments. That helps me know what you all want to see more of, what you like, what you don't like. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.